Hi everyone, I finally got my hands on the OPPO Find N6 and with all the Hasselblad gizmos going on there, and had to import it. You can't get it in the UK normally, so it's Asian markets only. That's what OPPO is doing as usual, so it's one of the trade-offs of getting this, but I've been really looking forward to it because this is supposed to be the real benchmark in foldables. So let's get in there. Let's see what they provide in the box. Decent packaging, and oh, hang on, let's go at it from here. Okay, so come back to that in a moment. That's the real main deal there. All right, put that aside for a second. Let's see what else they have. Okay, so there's a bonus. Charging brick, 80 watt, all right, and I think one of the other ones I got has a 100 watt charger, but that is a bonus there. Cable, and let's see what's in there. So SIM ejector tool, as always, at least they haven't dropped that one. And in here you've got, yeah, a bit of paperwork, usual stuff, etc. Put that aside, and it comes with a case. All right, let's take a look. Okay, so it's actually front and back, so I'll put that on the phone in a bit, and has adhesive stickers. All right, well, that's actually good. So yeah, you can see, if I can point it out there, adhesive stickers, which I think is a really good touch. Usable, but it's through there, so there's no covering or screen protector or anything like that on the front piece. Right, we'll try that out in a bit. That actually, just as an important point, I'll show you, got a case for the Motorola Razr Fold, and that doesn't come with any of the adhesive strips, so you can see, right? So that, I think, on the OPPO is a nice touch. All right, so that's everything in the box. Put that aside. Okay. I got the titanium, and there's an orange. They actually call it Blossom Orange, I believe. Pearl Black and this titanium. So I prefer the titanium. And just as a starting point, you can see the reflection of the thing. That actually feels really premium. Very premium feel to it. There we are. Let's have a little walk around the phone itself. Now, it really sets a new standard for book style foldables. Yeah, so that whole thing there. Okay, and you know, it's top tier engineering really. The battery, it says 6,000 milliamp hours, and the main thing that everybody probably tunes into an OPPO review for, or first impressions, is the crease. Okay, and let's get straight to that. I am absolutely amazed. I know other reviewers and whatever on YouTube have been going on about it, that it's a zero feel, and genuinely, there is the slightest little feel of a crease there. Otherwise, nothing. I'm trying to put the lighting on it so you can actually see if there is a crease or not. Doesn't matter which way I do it, I don't think you're going to see a crease. That is absolutely amazing. Now, if you compare that very quickly with, for example, Moto Razr Fold, there we are, okay? You can see a crease there, all right? Same with an Honor Magic V5 there, crease there. Compare that now with that. That is absolutely remarkable. No crease at all, all right? So that, I think, lives up to its expectations. The titanium Flexion hinge, they call it, all right? And it has these 3D printed photopolymer parts down the middle of the hinge, under the screen, that when you open it, they actually expand and puff up the screen, if you like, for want of a better expression, and keep it flat, right? Unlike the others, which all use the teardrop style of hinge. So zero feel, and it genuinely is zero feel, and it's absolutely invisible, I must say. This really does set the benchmark. And a couple of basic details on this. The cover screen, to start with, is 6.6 inch and very, very thin bezels. Really like that. Very smart, beautifully crafted, lovely thin bezels, and I've already got finger marks on this. And the aspect ratio is 20.7 to 9, which is actually a little wider than the Z Fold 7, all right, making that a little bit more comfortable. And I do use the Z Fold 7 currently, so I already feel that is much more comfortable, better in the hand than the Z Fold 7, which I think was the best one so far. And okay, the brightness, 3600 nits, peak brightness, all right, and the inner screen, I think it's got a similar brightness rating. So as a first impression, the inner screen, 8.1 inch, and there, and whatever that is, LTPO OLED, and very bright. Okay. So this is the 16 gigabyte RAM version with the 1 terabyte storage, and that seems to be available only for the Chinese market. And so that is not going to be available globally, even if there is a global version of this in certain markets. They don't have that one, okay? Not sure why, but there you go. If you want the maxed out version, then you're going to have to get the Chinese one. All right, so there are your cameras. Okay, camera system in there. All right, bit of reflection there. All right, the main one, 200 megapixel primary wide sensor, and you know, the sensor size actually is on a par. Maybe not with the OPPO Find X9 Ultra, but all the same, it's certainly competitive. Probably better than the Samsung. I will put samples on a full review, on a detailed review. And the telephoto and ultra wide are both 50 megapixel, and with macro and everything else, very good low light performance apparently. And I will find out when I actually take photos, and I'll put some samples in the video. The selfie cameras, one on the front screen, 20 megapixel, and the one on the inner screen, tucked away in a corner there, which you probably wouldn't even notice. That one also 20 megapixel. All right. Phone is powered by Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. All right. And you know, all the multitasking, even video editing, split screen apps, etc. Absolutely no problem at all. All right. Color OS, and I think this one is running on version 10. The battery, you're looking at 6,000 milliamp hours, and that will easily cover people for what, day and a half. If the Motorola Razr Fold is anything to go by, then you're getting at least a day and a half, even with fairly heavy usage. So excellent. The charging is 80 watts wired, 50 watt wireless, and I haven't checked the reverse wireless or not. I don't know that one yet. Literally just got it out of the box, so I'm gonna have to check that. One thing I want to say, as I've been trying to do that, opening and closing it, right? Just take a look at this. There's nothing to grip. It is so, let's put it this way, so beautifully crafted, and everything lines up so beautifully, absolutely flat. But there's nothing to help you open it. Right? You really have to get your nail into there to try and open that. I'm not sure if that's good or bad thing. You don't want to be fiddling with that when you're out and about, right? So I'd really recommend putting a case on there. If I just take a moment and compare that with the Honor Magic, similar, smooth, yeah? That's too smooth, difficult to open up. The one that actually even without a case actually. I know this is cheating because I've got a case on there, but even without a case, if I can take that case off, that's the Moto Razr Fold. And that thing, if you can see, like there, it's actually got a bit of an indentation, and you can grab that. Much easier to open than the OPPO, right? It looks beautiful, you know, just lovely design, hinge and everything else, beautiful. But one of the faults with that then, the little thing that's going to knock you off a little, is trying to open it. Okay, so that's worth considering if you're likely to do that several times a day. Okay, so half case and the SIM trays there. Okay, I'm not going to do the adhesive things later because I'm going to have to open it up to put the SIM on it. Let's see. That is actually quite decent. I'm about to order the AI stylus case, so the case with the pen built into it that you can store the pen in. But even without that, if you're not intending to use it, that is a lovely case. It's got a textured aramid kind of fiber feel to it, and without sticking it down, you've got that same problem. All right, so worth considering. That is really good. It comes free in the box. And the other thing that I want to check is whether, yep, this has built-in satellite, all right, satellite communication, and which means it might or might not, I don't know. Does it take any form of eSIM? I know people have asked about that, and I don't know whether it takes any eSIM or not. Doesn't seem to. Okay, doesn't seem to have any particular facility here. I might have to look for it. All right, so it's got the satellite thing built in, but apparently no eSIM. Something worth checking. I'll put all of these things in the full review. This is just a starting point and the first impressions, and I do love it. I really do. Can't wait to get the stylus pen and use that, see how that works, because the one on the Motorola is brilliant. For those who miss the Galaxy S Pen on the Z Fold 7, I think just for one reason alone, the Motorola Razr Fold is worth getting. I've used the pen on it. It is stunningly good, really is. And I don't know this one yet, but I will take a look at it. And just as a first impression, much thinner and lighter than the Razr Fold. So two different approaches, two different categories of phone, and there's the Honor Magic V5. I haven't got the 6 yet, and so each of them takes their own approach. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that's been a little bit helpful. I mean, it's not a full review, it's just opening the box, taking a first look at it, and a few of the main features. The rest of it, I will do a proper video, full review, etc., and compare it to others, and we'll come back to that. Hopefully, you'll join me for that one. Thanks very much for watching.